Hey everybody, it's Ian Kane with the man, the van, and the bird. Welcoming you to one of our very first videos. I recognize that it's a work in progress and I'm excited for it. I'm really excited to get going on this project. And not only the van, but YouTube and Instagram, and I don't know, see where we can take it. So I welcome you. And I'm just gonna talk a little bit about kind of my van process and how I got to the point of having a custom Mercedes Sprinter van built out to live full-time van life. As soon as my van is done, me and the bird are gonna be hitting the road in the van and doing it, getting after it. It'll be done sometime in the winter, which I'm excited about. Winter is my favorite time of year, and we're gonna be going and doing some paddle surfing, as much paddle surfing as possible, and some snowboarding too, until it's springtime, and then we're gonna get into something new. Hopefully some kayaking, surfing, body surfing. We'll see where the roads take us, but I'm glad you're along for the journey. Way back in 2010, I got a E350 Ford Econoline van, and I had big dreams of converting it to four-wheel drive, converting it to a camper van, and spending time at Ski Hill specifically at the time and making art in the parking lot and having tunes playing and up in Mammoth. And anyway, I worked real hard to get to the point that I could make those conversions. And, you know, after spending, gosh, like, I don't know, it took me like a year or two to find the van that I wanted. And then before I had the chance to convert it, I was actually on the phone with my girlfriend at the time, and it was parked in front of my house, and she was at my house and I was at work. And while I'm on the phone, I hear this terrible crash in the background, and I knew immediately that it was my van. And I said, the van's name was Pearl, and I said to her, I said, that was Pearl, wasn't it? And she said, yeah. And long story short, the van was totaled. This young gal hit the van so hard that it bent the frame, tacoed it. It was bad. She was fine, thank goodness. So that dream went down the tubes. You know, I didn't get the value. I got the value the insurance company gave me for the van, what they thought the van was worth, which was not what actually replacing the van would cost. So I didn't end up with another van. I've been dreaming about it ever since. This was probably, I don't know, it's a long time ago when that happened. And so a few months ago, I decided, you know, maybe it was time to pursue this dream. I had realized it was time for a career change and a life change. And I was in Montana at the time, and I was planning on moving back home to Southern California for a little while. And so I started doing some research, and I was really thinking about building a Ford E-Series box truck, like a brand new one, and converting it myself. And I went through that iteration in my mind, and started watching Our Way to Rome, shout out to them, and their Unicell conversion. And I was gonna do something similar maybe, but convert it to four-wheel drive, and that would have been an awesome rig. And then I realized that I didn't really have space or a place to build a van out. And so, or the time. You know, I had no idea how long it was gonna take me in my spare time by myself to convert a van. I figured it was gonna be at least 10 months. And that's a long time. And so I started looking at Revels. And they were intriguing. I went to look at one. I went to look at a Rebel to purchase, and I really didn't like the build quality of the interior. I don't know if you've been in one, and I'm not trying to shit on Rebels, but you know, it's a mass-produced product, and it's not the highest quality inside. And so I started looking at Van Camper, the website Van Camper, where like custom vans are sold. And I saw this particular van by SoCal Camper Vans. It was called the Compass. It was red, which I thought was cool. You rarely see a red van around. And I thought it had a lot of potential. And I went to see it down in San Diego, and I met Nick, and it was rad. It was a really cool van, and I wanted to buy it. And it was gonna take me a few days to move the money around to put a down payment on the van, and in that period of time, someone else purchased the van. So that was a little bit of a bummer. And then Nick suggested, well, hey man, like you have this budget, and you know, why don't we build you a van? And so started going down the path of you know, finding a Mercedes Sprinter van and building and having one built by Nick at SoCal Custom Vans. And I was looking at brand new Mercedes Sprinter vans. And at first I was a little disappointed in the fact that I was going to have to go with the 4-cylinder all-wheel drive combo. And that week, I think, Agile Off-Road put out a test between the old 6-cylinder 4-wheel drive and the new 4-cylinder all-wheel drive, or maybe I found it. It may have already been posted a few months back, I'm not sure. But I saw this test, and it was really intriguing in that the all-wheel drive actually seemed to outperform the 4-wheel drive in this off-road test they were doing. And I thought to myself, well, this might really make a lot more sense, especially in the snow, which is where that's my number one priority, is snow performance over off-road performance, although I want off-road performance too. And so I found a couple other videos talking about the all-wheel drive, and I was really happy about what I was seeing, and I made the decision to buy a new Sprinter van. So I started going to look at brand new Sprinter vans, and every dealership I went to had a minimum of a $5,000 markup, and you know, they're not cheap vans. And so on a whim, I was like, well, let me just look for a used one. And sure enough, I found a used van within about an hour of where I'm staying in Southern California. And it had 7,000 miles, and it was gonna save me like, I don't know, 12 grand over brand new. And so I pulled the trigger and bought the van, and I'm really happy with it. I chose to ship it to Montana and have it registered in Montana, since I have an LLC there. I've lived there, and I've got a lot of people there, and it's kind of I like it as a home base in addition to Southern California. And so I had it, to save on sales tax, I had it shipped to Montana. I flew up to Montana and having it registered in Montana, and then I was able to grab some things that I had in storage in Montana and bring them back to Southern California. And so went on a nice little road trip. Birdie and I flew up there together, and it was awesome. And you know, you can see in some of the photos in the video, like the beautiful sights. It's such a beautiful drive, driving from Missoula to Southern California. Like until you hit Nevada, the entire drive is just gorgeous. And I mean, some people probably think the driving through Nevada is gorgeous too. I'm not so much of a desert guy myself, but it has its beauty. That's for sure. I won't spend a lot of time boring you with the details. The van is now back in Southern California. I've driven it down to SoCal Camper Van, and it's in Nick's hands, and it is currently going through phase 1, where Nick will be cutting holes for windows, cutting holes for capsules, cutting a hole in the roof for a max air fan. When phase 1 is complete, I'll have another video ready to go of the transformation it's undergone to that point, and we'll check in then. So this is such an exciting process. If you have the chance to do it, I recommend it. And so this is Ian Kane. I'm signing off and encouraging you to go get it. Time is now. Yeah. Somehow I have a couple of sponsors already. First of which is Sunday Beach Club. Sunday Beach Club is a lifestyle clothing brand. It's a lifestyle, really. It's more than a clothing brand, it's a lifestyle. You know, not everybody gets a chance to live at the beach, but a lot of people live close enough to drive to the beach, and you know, Sundays is a great day, especially here in Southern California. There's no traffic. You can go down and get your Sunday Beach Club on at the beach and every Sunday and have a great time. And it's more of a, you know, like I said, it's a lifestyle, it's an idea. And coming soon, there's going to be Sunday Beach Club in the wintertime on the mountains with POW surfing. POW surfing makes it so that there's a beach in the mountains. Not only is it in the ocean. I'm really excited about that. So thanks to Sunday Beach Club. Thanks also to Advisory House Designs for all their work on the interior of the van. They've helped me with designing the space of a house, at least, like, you know, not the physical space, but filling the physical space, the style, the textures, the colors, the schemes, the artwork. And so they've done a lot of work with this van. When you see the van complete, Advisory House Designs would be very strong presence inside the van. All of the colors, textures, fabrics, all of them will have come out of Advisory House Designs. Thank you to them also.